good?
We're great.
All right.
And that was it?
Don't do me like that. Hi, guys. My name is Blake for Constantly Calibrating, a website all about games and geek stuff. And we're here at RTX 2018 with Troy Baker. Holy shit.
That's my Christian name. Yeah, I was
Yeah,
baptized.
yeah.
Troy Baker, holy shit.
Yeah.
In nome di
So-
Patris et Filii et Spiritus Sancti.
You're back in your home state of Texas, man. How's it feel?
That feels good, boy.
Yeah.
No, it does. This is the one thing that your blood thins really quickly when you move. I'm gonna go straight into weather. I'm gonna
No,
be
you're
back
good.
right
You're good. You're good.
But like it's 100 degrees in,
Oh, yeah.
in the valley right now. This is different. This is
Mhm.
like a 100 degrees
Mhm.
and a kick in the balls.
Yeah.
So I'm happy to be here in
Yeah.
Austin. We had a great time. I'm glad to see the little Lime scooters are here too. This is the most-
What's your opinion on those?
I love them. I
Yeah?
mean, I'm sure, but I really don't live like where I live. My part of LA, nobody has them.
Right.
Like Santa Monica, down by the beach, or Venice, they're perfect because it's kind of
Yeah.
laid out like a grid, and you can easily navigate it through.
Yeah.
But everybody that lives down there,
Mhm.
they hate them because you just abandon them,
Oh, of
and they're
course.
just littering everywhere.
Then a guy just comes by with a pickup truck,
Just
throws
picks
them
them-
all in the back. Yeah.
Literally, just
Yeah.
shucks them.
Absolutely.
But I love him. It's the most I feel like a child. It's the most whimsical way to get around town. I got hip to him at Comic-Con in San Diego this year, and instead of trying to fight through traffic or do the rickshaw, the poor guy who's like at the 110 degree
Right.
heat, you jump on a scooter and you're good.
I love the guys in full suits though that ride them. Like
Gotta get
down-
to work.
down here. Yeah, exactly. Like I see it and it's constant comedy always.
Yep.
Always.
Especially when they fall over.
So for anybody who doesn't know, God, I don't know how you really couldn't. Troy is a vocal performer and musician who has made major waves. I want to say over the last decade.
What if I just
Right?
vocal performer
Yeah, I know. I made a beatboxing joke right
and
before.
I know it's like that's a weird. That's
Yeah,
a
exactly.
confession, y'all.
Yeah,
It's
we don't talk about it. You have played some of the most iconic characters from the last 5 years, I want to say.
Okay.
What is it like looking back at where you were before you started in video games and knowing where you are now? Like, is that a fun comparison to make, or is it one of those things that,
Sure.
like, I shouldn't have brought up?
No. I wish that if I could go back to myself 5 years, 5 minutes ago,
Mhm.
I would just. It gets better.
Yeah.
If I could go to myself in my 20s,
Mhm.
I would tell myself first of all, calm down just a little bit.
Mhm.
But yeah, like it gets better. This is really, really cool. Like you said, I've been fortunate enough to play some really, really cool characters.
Yeah.
And have an absolute blast doing it. I've met some incredible people and made some incredible friends.
Mhm.
So yeah, absolutely. I don't regret anything of it. It's like
Yeah.
I'm pinching myself.
Well, it's just it's really cool seeing like just some of your earlier performances moving forward. You made your way to a like really well-known spot very, very quickly. And I'll talk a little bit more about like voice performances and stuff here in a minute, but you're also a musician.
Yeah.
And that's the thing that I really enjoy people that pursue music and they have a big musical background.
Okay.
When you have your moments, like you mentioned in The Last of Us in character as Joel, you're going to you're going to teach Ellie how to play guitar, that kind of thing.
Right.
We have a softer, more intimate moment in BioShock when you pick up the guitar. Is it fun knowing that you get to add these little musical touches to these masculine characters? And like, where do you pull from for that?
Well, honestly, both of those ideas were born completely organically out of the writers and directors. In that case, Last of Us is Neil Druckmann and Ken Levine for BioShock. Knowing that music was kind of a part of me, and it was like, what if we did this? What if we put this really cool? And we were doing those games at the same time.
Wow. Okay. Yeah.
So, but note that neither of the two houses talk to each other, right? It was the Montagues and the Capulets, not with animosity, but just
no.
We don't, because everyone operates under an NDA.
Well, it's the games industry. Nobody knows what anybody's working on, but we all know we're all working, right?
And we especially didn't want to like share moments like that. So I'm watching back and forth, going, we're both going to do a music thing. And there was actually originally a scene that we threw in there where Joel played around a little bit. And they ended up not using it, but we brought that moment back. Obviously, when you saw at the PSX thing, we got to do that.
Yes,
and for the one night live. But those are really cool moments for me as an actor because it's the the creators going, hey, I'm going to let you infuse a bit of yourself into this character.
Rolling through that sentiment exactly. Who's like your musical inspiration? Like, what do you like to listen to, play, like feel, incorporate, that kind of thing?
It depends on, like, when I wake up in the morning, and I'm like super hip to Alexa. Like that's my I like believing that I'm Tony Stark and I can control my house by my voice. So when I wake up in the morning, I play classical. I'm a big like classical music nerd. But then as the day goes on, it'll move more into like Otis Redding and a little bit more like Motown.
Okay.
And then in the evening, it's like Billie Holiday, and I've like curated this amazing station on Pandora of like it moves from Billie Holiday into Nina Simone into Edith Piaf, and so like it's this very kind of eclectic kind of thing. So really, honestly, with me, whatever music is able to move me, then that's what I listen to.
No, that's awesome. Yeah, that's really, really cool. As far as vocal performances and stuff go, you've become known for Joel. We mentioned Booker earlier, but you've also got a role in God of War that came out this year.
Yeah.
Magni.
Yeah.
I have to be honest with you, it's my favorite thing you've ever done.
Oh, right on.
Yeah,
very cool.
It's
you can thank Corey Barlog for that. Yeah.
He's a hilarious little character, and seeing as you're, a good inch, 2, 3, maybe 6 above me, what was it like playing such a diminutive blue-skinned boy?
Well, I mean, here's what I loved most about that. I got to play with my boy Nolan, and Corey was like, "I got these two brothers. I want Nolan and Troy to play them."
Yeah.
That to me is a huge compliment. Whenever anybody looks at you as a solution to a problem,
absolutely,
that's number one goal as an actor. So we got to go in and play, and the funniest part was that where the studio that we recorded in, for some reason, it was originally a music studio, and there's the glass between the studio and the control room is super low. And so whenever we wanted to talk to Corey or the engineer, we had to kind of like get down like this. And it just became like this bit that we would do. And it's like, so Troy, actually, we're going to, what's that? And so it just became a thing like this for Nolan and I was doing this. He's like, about Terry? Terry's got no knuckles. He's got huge fingers like sausages. And the whole goal of the entire session that we did, which I think we only did 2 of those for the entire character, was to just try to make Corey crack up.
Oh, that's awesome.
It was super fun.
It's actually so Mikey Newman, who does the voice of Scooter in Borderlands, he tells a similar story where he's in a booth, glasses between him, and they couldn't figure out how he was going to get into Scooter. He just talks about Obama for 10 minutes in a really redneck accent.
Sure,
it's just interesting how the physicality and the mental like gymnastics you go through to kind of give life to a character.
I think that can sometimes work for or against you. Like in a case like The Last of Us, when it's full performance capture, or Uncharted, when you are on set with other actors interacting with environments and props and everything else. It's more like theater.
Yeah.
But it's like stage and film meeting.
Yeah.
And
I mean, that did actually happen at one point, didn't it? You performed on stage for The Last of Us, right?
The way that we made The Last of Us was full performance capture.
Yeah.
So we were on a stage in the suits interacting with sets and each other. And that's the way that most games, like even God of War, those are shot like movies.
Right.
So it's a little bit of a different process than just like trying to find a voice for a character. It's actually it's like theater. You're actually doing this with the other actors.
You mentioned Nolan North, actually, and I know you guys just announced a podcast together.
We're doing this show on YouTube right now that was born organically out of. I grew up playing, I was an indoor kid. I grew up playing games. Nolan did not. And so now here we are as adults playing these things, and I get a chance to actually go through and play old school Nintendo, or now we're just breaking into Sega right now of these incredible games that I grew up, and watching the frustration from him. It's just a gift every time. Yeah, it's called Retro Replay.
Yeah.
We're doing it on YouTube now. So yeah.
We'll definitely check that out.
Please
We'll tweet about it. We'll talk about it. It makes me laugh that you're working so closely with Nolan.
Yeah.
After a couple of years ago when people were like, "Oh, it's Troy Baker. He's the next Nolan North," like that kind of thing.
Anybody that truly knows this, that was stupid.
So the bromance is strong and everlasting.
Absolutely.
Going on a little bit more about Nolan, just a little bit. You guys played together in Uncharted 4 as brothers. Yeah. How much of that was just easy for you guys based on your earlier relationship and like
that? Very much so. Like what we actually ended up doing for that shoot was a lot of times what you see when we're working on other games, just
right
between when the cameras aren't rolling. That's actually us. So it was. Neil brought me in for that, and he was like, "I want you to play Nolan's brother," because he wanted someone who could just drop in and believe that these guys had that kind of rapport. Okay. And so we did.
I mean, it comes through. Good. Last couple questions, I promise. So there's this thing that happens with the characters that you play where they are not identifiable as Troy Baker.
Good.
They are 100% the character. The Joker, Magni, Sam. Every single one of them has their own unique identity. Sure. But there's some spark. There's something that you put in there, that you add to that character that immediately, even if your voice isn't recognizable, even if it's not something, it's like a gravity. Mm-hmm. How do you do that?
I have no idea.
Really?
No.
None at all.
And I think that the second that an actor, or I'll say myself, the second that I become aware of that.
Yeah, the minute it goes away?
Yeah, for sure. Wow. So my job is, there's a character that exists outside of my performance.
Right.
And if I understand where that director or that writer's wanted to bring that character, and I will meet them there, that most of the work is done then. But the second that I start trying to go, well, I'm going to give this guy a limp, or I'm going to somehow affect that character in a certain way, that I'm not actually being that.
Keep it simple. Yeah. All right. Awesome. Well, everybody, that's Troy Baker. Holy crap. I'm Blake from Constantly Calibrating, as I said at the beginning of the video. For more stuff like this from RTX 2018, be sure to subscribe to us on YouTube if this ends up on YouTube, or follow us on Twitter at ConCalPod. Troy, is there anything you would like to let anybody at ConCalPod know?
Send help.
Send help. Yeah. We did hog tie him for this.